In modern times, we talk about GDP, gross domestic product. Does it make any sense? The modern world is obsessed with GDP, gross domestic product. What does it mean anyway? It's all misnomers. It sends a wrong message to people. It's a lie, in other words. Gross domestic product. They always talk about 2%, 10%, 8%, 9%, 11%. That is how the politicians convince the voters or the vote bank. When they say 8%, government is doing a good job, 11% super job. So today, what is the gross domestic product? How does it work? What are the underpinnings? It's very simple. In order to produce GDP, gross domestic product, it is touted as income, as if we have gained, as if we got some money, a credit or a capital. Gross domestic product is a capital a country can have. But what is the route through which they achieved this gross domestic product? That is disturbing. A gross domestic product, first, you have to dig your own country's land, mountains, oceans. You have to exhaust your own country. And actually, for example, iron ore under the earth, it is intact. It is an investment. Keep it. It is there forever. But what the politics does is that they bring it out and they sell it to other countries. That is a capital. They are selling the capital. And they are showing it as a income by selling our capital. That is not income, that is an expenditure. So we just gave to other countries, it's an expenditure. They are paying back, that is another matter, but we have spent our capital. There is no more iron ore, it's empty mine. What can you say? Can't you understand that? We had the capital. For example, 2 billion iron ore, $2 billion. But now you sold, you gave it that 2 billion and you got in paper. We had in material, the kind that iron ore could fetch maybe 10 billion in 5 years. But you sold it, lost to the planet forever. This is non-renewable resource. Non-renewable resource means it will not come back. Only once, one-time bonanza. And you show, and you make a big press meet, and you say a big lie. This is the GDP, this is the income. No, you sold and you gave it away, 2 billion worth of our biological wealth from India. So, John Cobb, a theologian from America, he's an eco-theologian, he writes beautifully the same theme what I explained, and John Cobb is writing beautifully. And now I'm going to read his quote. And he speaks the truth about gross domestic product, GDP. Eco-theologian John Cobb Jr. writes as follows: the gross domestic product ignores depletion of resources and adds the costs of dealing with the pollution. These should be subtracted from the income. But clearly, the depletion of the oil should count against the income. The depletion of the iron ore should count against the income from its sale in calculating the sustainable economic welfare. There may be other costs as well if there is extensive pollution involved in the pumping, transportation, and processing of the oil or iron ore, this as its economic costs. Pollution. It's not only you sold our iron ore to another country and your extraction of iron ore has left behind pollution, a big hole in the planet, in geology. And so much of heat is being released. And the forest was destroyed before mining, deforestation. And there is so much of construction. Some factories were constructed and they are all at dilapidated condition right now. So much of waste, so much of filth. All the animals and birds all migrated from that ecosystem. And the people, they breathe pollution. These are all should be counted on gross domestic products. They never count this cost, that the negative cost they don't count, only the positive. Okay, we made 9% progress this year, fiscal year. But anybody would ask, so much of decline, so much of destruction, we lost some of the beautiful lands, some of the beautiful spots India lost by exploiting and pillaging and selling to other countries. Bhutan, our country, north to India and south to China, nestled right in the mountains, they see gross domestic product differently, with ethical attitude, with biological attitude. So they say their domestic product is peace. Their gross domestic product is happiness. Their gross domestic product is satisfaction. Learn to say enough. Their domestic product is prosperity, health of a forest, afforestation, health of ecosystem, pristine mountains, beautiful water, no pollution. This is the gross domestic product. When are we going to learn from Bhutan, a small country? They set standards for the whole world. I think rest of the 200 countries should learn from Bhutan. And we should be clear in our statements. We should never lie to people. So gross domestic product, the economist should tell the truth. It is not an income, it is a lie, with liabilities, with uncertainties. So GDP is a myth. GDP is misinterpreted. GDP is, people are misled. And when are we going to speak truth? Nothing but the truth. So truth shall set you free.